welcome to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Before we get into the weekly reading for the sign of Leo, this is just an announcement, a reminder that I'm giving away the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit Deck and Guidebook this month on my channel. March 31st, I'm going to announce the winner. These are the cards. I will be using this deck in my reading today, and all you have to do to be eligible to win this deck is to be subscribed to my channel and leave me a comment just letting me know you're interested, all right? That's it. I just don't want to give the deck to someone who's actually not interested in using the cards for themselves or what have you. And so then all you have to do is check back March 31st for the winner video to see if you are the one who won the deck, and that's it. And every month I do give away a deck on my channel. I think this is probably the 5th one, maybe even the 6th one I've given away. So let's get right into it, Leo. We're going to get right into your romance angel messages. In order to join, if you want to be a subscriber on my channel, all you have to do is hit the subscribe button right there below the video. When you're hitting the subscribe button, just check out the join button. That'll tell you what you get as a member. If you want to become a member on my channel, and that gets you all kinds of other perks and extra videos and stuff like that for members only. So check that out. Let's see what the messages are for you this period, Leo. We have straight out, pay attention to red flags, my darling. We have passion. This is a nice card for you. You're very passionate. And we have heart-to-heart conversations for you, Leo. So that's interesting. It's time to sort of have that heart-to-heart, you know, maybe, you know, open up that heart chakra and communicate with someone about something that's very, very important to you. All right, guys, let's go ahead and I'm just pulling up my sleeves. Going to go ahead and pull out your animal spirits for this period. Now, this is the same deck that I'm giving away to you guys. All right, it's a beautiful deck. It really is. You can work with it for a long time. You know, I've been working with it for quite some time. I love it. I'll probably be working with it for years. All right, guys. For my lovely Leos. This is, of course, from March 29th to April 5th. So really the last few days of March into that first week of April. All right, guys, we have the crocodile. Just came up for the last reading. I think it was for Cancer. We have, oops, 2 cards got pulled. Well, they're both for you. The first one was the tiger. Nice, fire. And then the second one, again, was the dragonfly. Also came out earlier. So these are 2 recurring energies. The crocodile and the dragonfly and that strong tiger. So let's get right into it before we pull out your spread here. Leo, you have the crocodile. The crocodile is water energy and is associated with waiting and watching, patience, hesitating, right, to make a move until you have all the information. This is not a passive sort of just hanging around. This is an active waiting. You're actively sort of being very cautious and very patient more than anything because you're biding your time to make the right decision. And this is what the situation is calling for. This is the animal spirit that is of importance right now for some of you, depending on what you're going through. Now, if you're out of balance right now, you're finding it difficult to be patient, then you're out of balance with this energy. And this is the energy the situation is calling for. So when you're trying to regain that balance, you can meditate on the spirit of the crocodile. Meditate on what you know of the crocodile and the animal spirit itself in terms of, you know, reminding yourself to say, okay, let me calm down. Let me just wait. Let me pay attention because this is the situation that some of you are in, and this is the energy that's going to help you the best through this situation. Now, some of you are dealing with the tiger, and the tiger is absolutely a strong fire animal spirit and is associated with strong feminine energy, actually. This is very strong feminine, intuitive energy. This is also the, really, I'm going to say, worldwide symbol for fear. In all cultures and religions, the tiger, for the most part, is symbolic of fear or overcoming fear. And the tiger, what do we know about the tiger? In the wild, here we go again, in the wild, the spirit of the tiger is cautious, is careful. They hunt at night, right? So they are using the moonlight, which is why this is another card that is so strongly feminine. It's very lunar energy associated with the tiger. They use their intuition, their understanding, their instinct, their experience to survive and to hunt. And so this, of course, when you are going through a dark place, you don't have the clarity of the sun, and you're having to survive and to hunt and all of that, you have to overcome your fears. And so it's the spirit of the tiger, that spirit of trusting yourself, trusting your instincts, trusting your intuition, your inner voice, your gut, trusting that your experience, right? And all of that. It's that trust in that strong trust in that, and that strong support of that feminine energy also, which allows us to overcome our fears. And so if you're in a situation right now where the spirit of the tiger will benefit you, where overcoming your fears will benefit you, think of that spirit. Think of the tiger. Meditate on that energy when you're beginning to feel anxious or frightful or what have you. When that fear is starting to set in, think about the energy of the tiger. Think about the animal itself and how it sort of moves around through this world and maintains its strength. And you can overcome your fear in that way. And it's one of the sort of meditational ways you can also bring the energy of the animal spirit stronger into your life. Now, the dragonfly is associated with air. It is the lord of illusion and the lord of the mind. And the dragonfly reminds us that just like the air, the mind is fleeting. The thoughts are fleeting. Thoughts will come and go. Perspectives will come and go, right? Dragonfly energy reminds us that we can't assume that everything we believe and see, or all of the I want to say interpretations that we make about life around us are facts or absolute truths. We have to remember that our mind can sometimes be seeing something in a certain light and then see it in another light. And there are no absolute truths. So it's, you're picking up a lot of energy right now. You may be putting a little bit too much value or importance on things that to a certain degree you may not have any proof of, or what have you. And so the spirit of the dragonfly comes in to remind us that the mind is shifting and fleeting all the time, and to try and remain grounded at times like this, right? So that you are clear in your thoughts, you have clarity, and you have the ability to discern a situation properly without sort of all kinds of different thoughts and ideas, running around in your head, and not really being able to decide which ones are real and which ones aren't, right? Assuming absolute truths about situations that clearly aren't an absolute truth. It's a time when you can be misjudging situations, right? You can be misinterpreting them or having difficulty discerning a situation for what it really is. And so the dragonfly reminds us to pull back for a minute, to ground ourselves in the things that we know to be true and move forward from there, right? It's like pulling back from that energy. All right, Leo, let's get right into your spreads for the week. Going to pull out 3 spreads for your week, and you may or may not resonate with these, but I will say this: you're here for a reason. You're watching this video right now for a reason, and that reason is that your guides in some way, shape, or form have drawn you to this video. So take it for what it is. Some of these may not resonate entirely with your situation, but you may, you may get some kind of insight or inspiration or understanding nevertheless. So, just remain open to the message that you are meant to receive for you. 5 of Pentacles, the Magician, and the King of Swords. So some of you are coming into this week and you're dealing with sort of rebuilding yourself after a really difficult financial struggle or setback, right? 5 of Pentacles indicates a financial setback that usually comes at the end of some kind of power struggle. You may have lost a job or a position at work, or you may have been in some kind of energetic power struggle with someone in your life, so that when it ended, you were effectively the one out in the cold. You were effectively the one who now has to sort of rebuild. This could even be like breaking up with a roommate, or breaking up even with a lover, and now you have to move, and it's like your whole life is turned upside down economically, as well as going through this split. So it's a pretty interesting card when we talk about 5 being the number for power struggle in the tarot. And so this particular power struggle also tends to be a financial or an environmental power struggle that, I want to say an impact, right? The power struggle may have indeed been between lovers or what have you, but the impact was very, very sort of material. very financial, very on the ground about your environment. But nevertheless, Five of Pentacles is a setback card, but it's a card in which you are going to eventually transcend and be in a much better place than you were before this happened. So Five of Pentacles is oftentimes my couple of steps back, 10 steps forward card. You know, it's difficult in the beginning, but once you transcend the situation, once you go through the work of getting through it, you're going to find yourself in a much better place. In any case, you're coming into the week resonating with this, and you come into the week and meet energies that bring this energy of the Magician into your life. So this is interesting. Sometimes the energies that you meet this week are energies that make you behave a certain way, or they're energies that come in the form of another person. That really depends on my intuitional interpretation. But it's funny because I feel very much like this is someone coming in to you. Like this week, you come up against somebody who acts as a magician in your life, and they really bring you some inspiration. I'm going to say to a certain degree, the spirit of the crocodile and the dragonfly is coming in, because with the dragonfly, I think they bring some inspiration in that is going to help you to focus, and it's the type of inspiration that allows you to find the right way forward. It focuses you. You know, inspiration sometimes can focus you. You know, it's not really meant to sort of put you in a chaotic state. You know, when you're inspired to do something, you then really ideally should be able to focus in on that inspiration and make it happen. And again, earlier, the dragonfly is that spirit of having a lot of chaos or, you know, chaotic sort of energies going on with regard to the mental and the ability to focus. So you have this magician come in who really inspires you in a way that this person conducts their life. Now, this could be a friend or a relative or somebody that you just meet new, or, you know, whatever. But this is somebody who really impacts you this week. And by the end of the week, you resonate with King of Swords, which is exactly that clarity that I'm saying. You know, the inspiration that you're getting from this individual sets you right on the right path, so that by the end of the week, you've really been able to begin to really take control of your life, of your planning of your life, of the next steps of your life. You find yourself having much more clarity and understanding, right? You find yourself in a much more authoritative and strong position than you did at the beginning of the week, when you were resonating with this really strong kind of energy of you know, having been downtrodden. You know, this is the downtrodden card, right? If you know what I mean. So it's like by the end of the week, to have that King of Swords is really, really strong for you. You come out very, very strong. I would dare say that some of the tiger energy is here also in terms of overcoming your fears. Three of Wands, Hierophant, and Page of Wands. So that was Five of Pentacles behind it. Okay, so Three of Wands. Some of you are coming into this week resonating with Three of Wands energy. Now, Three of Wands, Leo, is very sort of patient. It's that energy of patience and waiting. It is very, very similar to crocodile energy. It resonates strongly with the crocodile, in as much as Three of Wands is a time in your life where you find yourself realizing that you're just going to have to wait. You just have to put a pause on, right? It can also be that life is forcing you to wait. And so this is a time, sometimes it can be quite frustrating. And that would be that spirit of the crocodile out of balance, feeling frustrated right now at a time when really you should be, you know, embracing it for what it is to get the most out of it. And so this is what I mean by when the animal spirit, when you're out of balance and you feel the spirit coming in, drawing you, meditate on it so that you can come into balance, and so that you can be patient and really watching, because right now is the time for you to watch for the right information or the right occurrence or inspiration or what have you to come in, and it's really going to help you make your next decision. It's also a time to pay attention to red flags. So you have to pay attention to red flags up here from the angels, and that makes a lot of sense also. Coming into the week, you are met with the Hierophant. So the Hierophant is interesting, Leo, because this is a real commitment. The Hierophant is off, you know, in tarot, 5 again is the number for power struggle, right? But the Hierophant is the highest sort of symbol of our spiritual beliefs here on earth. So if you believe in God as a Christian or as a Catholic, per se, then the Pope, I guess, would be that, right? Or if you believe if you're a Buddhist, then I guess it would be the Dalai Lama or what have you, right? Or even if you're not into organized religions, the Hierophant is symbolic of your commitment to your faith. So whether it is an actual person who serves as a leader or not, it's really the archetype that we're talking about here. And the archetype reminds us about our commitment and our utter commitment that we have to our faith. And when we have 100% commitment, we don't have a power struggle, right? There is no power struggle because we're 100% committed. And this can also indicate if you're in a love connection, sometimes the Hierophant will show up, and that indicates commitment and love. Now, 5 being the number of power struggle, 15 is the card for the devil. So in the devil, with the card for the devil, we are all out in an internal power struggle, which way to go. But with the Hierophant, we have that synergy. We have no power struggle because we are that committed. And so this can indicate that events this week either, encourage you to increase your commitment to your spiritual path, or may increase your commitment to a particular project or a particular love connection. Whatever it is, it's a redoubling down of your commitment and the recentering of your focus, right? So that you are moving forward exactly, in that very intentional and committed way. A lot of times it can also indicate a spiritual teacher that comes in and helps you to focus your commitment to your faith, right? So by the end of the week, you resonate with Page of Wands, and Page of Wands is all about overcoming fear. All the pages in the suits are about overcoming fear in that suit, and Page of Wands is very much like the tiger. In fact, in the soft deck, the Page of Wands has the tiger on the card as part of the imagery. But in any case, Page of Wands is that feeling of overcoming the fear of ridicule or the fear of embarrassment or the fear that people won't support you. Wands is all about creativity and passion. And Page of Wands is that feeling of saying, you know what, I don't care what anybody thinks about me. I'm going to follow my heart. I'm going to follow my passion. And I'm going to go for it. So the Page of Wands is generally very idealistic. And again, this is what happens. You're waiting for a sign. You have this kind of really strong, I want to say, spiritual redoubling. Might even be an epiphany that some of you have. And by the end of the week, you are like so idealistic about a particular outlook or a particular new endeavor that you're about to embark on. It's almost like you have regained your youthful sort of passion, but it's very idealistic. The Page of Wands is like one of the highest cards for just being idealistic about something. I'm very passionate about something and not afraid to show your passions. And so this is what happens for some of you Leos for this week. Last spread, Queen of Pentacles, 2 of Swords, and 4 of Swords. So some of you are resonating with that Queen of Pentacles, one of my favorite queens. She is the one who puts her blood, sweat, and tears into everything that she tries to manifest. She understands the nature of putting her feelings into her work and being emotionally invested. When you're trying to manifest something, when you're trying to create a nice life for yourself, an environment for yourself, or good health for yourself, you have to believe in it. You have to be emotionally invested, and she is the card for that. So right now, some of you Leos are really doing that. You're really getting into your work, whatever it is. You're really putting your whole heart in it. You're realizing that the only way for you to get to where you need to go means that you really have to put your heart into, your emotion into, your feelings into whatever it is you're doing, and let that guide you. Some of you are coming into this week and then you're resonating with that, and then the events that are happening this week make you feel like you're having to make a choice. And again, it could be this, I don't know that this is a sudden thing for you, Leo. You may have always resonated with this, but this is highlighted for you this week. And it could be that the more you're getting emotionally invested, you're finding yourself in a place where you feel like you're having to make a choice about something. And 2 of Swords is an interesting card because it is about choices, but with the 2 of Swords, really what we're trying to find is balance. You find really that the woman in the end never really makes a choice. She never really makes a choice. What she does do is find a balance between the 2 swords. And this is ideally what you want to do when you're in a situation where you're kind of put between a rock and a hard place. Don't ever be forced to make a decision between two options that weren't your options to choose from in the first place. You know what I mean? Because that's a manipulation. Somebody says, well, you have these two options to choose from, and you get no choice in what those two options are. And then they tell you you have to make a choice. And that is unfair on a grand scheme. And a lot of times you can vote out of that. You can decide that, well, you know what, my choice is not to make any choice here, but to find it a completely different way. Two of Swords is that energy. By the end of the week, you resonate with Four of Swords, which is a feeling of being very sort of strategic and careful. So this could be something to do at work, right? You may be given an impossible decision at work, and it's something that really goes against your, I want to say your heart, goes against what you believe to be right and how you feel about things and what you feel is important. And instead of making that decision, which I urge you not to do, or doing anything hasty, what do? You exercise the spirit of the crocodile, bringing that in, that patience. And by the end of the week, you're just being very careful and strategic, which is the best way forward. Right? The best way forward in any situation that deals with Two of Swords is Four of Swords. It's a feeling of, truce. I'm going to go back to my corner and I'm going to figure this out before I make any decision. I'm going to make the right decision for me. And if that decision means making no decision at all and finding another way or finding a balance between the two, then it may be that also. But in any case, Four of Swords is exactly the energy we want to see when we're being confronted with a Two of Swords feeling of being sort of forced into a corner. Because Two of Swords can feel really sort of put upon you a lot of times. A lot of times it feels like an impossible decision that you really didn't want to have to make. So it feels very much like something being done to you or forced on you rather than something that you have somehow initiated in your life. But remember, everything we initiate from us originally. So there's a reason for this happening. And of course, taking the time to think about your next move is always going to be the best move. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it at that. This is your outlook for my lovely Leos for March 29th to April 5th. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to let me know if you're interested in being in the drawing for the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit Deck and Guidebook box set. March 31st, you have to be subscribed. Leave me a comment. Let me know you're interested. When you're subscribing, check the join button. Check out membership. It's only 99 cents a month, and there are a bunch of perks you get with it, which are really cool, including special videos, access, and video series, which I'm going to be starting for April. Anyway, check it all out. Private readings, top of the screen. You can follow that link. But for right now, Leo, have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next week for your weekly general outlook. Bye-bye now.